Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Bridget Bjorlo. As the weather warms up, animals tend to be more active. So if you lose power on a bright sunny day, the critters might be the culprit.
Yeah, take a live look at the current outages throughout Connecticut right now. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules did a ride along with Eversource to learn more about how they deal with these outages.
If you've ever had a power outage on a quiet, nice weather day, it could have been an animal like a squirrel or a bird chewing or touching a wire.
A couple years ago, we had a raccoon or a fisher cat get into some equipment in the station that actually locked out the whole station, causing an 835 customer outage to the downtown area.
Sebastian Pandolfo is the electric field operations manager for Eversource's Hartford Area Work Center. He says with warmer weather on the horizon, Eversource's service employees are on the lookout for animal activity when they respond to power outages.
Animals, birds, squirrels, raccoons could potentially cause an outage by, touching something energized while they're on something de-energized or grounded, which would blow the fuse, causing outages.
In 2024, Eversource had more than 2,000 animal-related power outages, which is second to tree-related power outages in the state. I rode along with Pandolfo to get a closer look at how Eversource prevents animals from messing with important equipment.
You can see all the cover up on the taps. It looks very busy up there, but you can see on most all of those covers, or all of them, have another little shield going over those.
To protect wires, Eversource uses a short plastic or silicone shield to protect equipment like reclosers. These high voltage switches can automatically shut off or restore power. Eversource's spokesperson, Trisha Modifica, says that just weeks ago, Eversource responded to an animal-related power outage in Litchfield County that left thousands of customers in the dark.
Then 5,000 customers were left without power, and it turned out it was because of a raccoon that had gotten into a substation up in the Litchfield area, got into the equipment there and shorted out the equipment in the substation.
Pandolfo says the more customer feedback Eversource receives, the more it will be able to better respond to outages and keep power on for customers.
Certainly from a customer standpoint, the more information they can provide, the better it is for us to respond and get the restoration in a timely manner.
Eversource service workers ask that customers always make sure to report outages to their team online or by phone. In Hartford, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
All right, Alicia, thank you. Well, animals won't be chewing on wire this week because the winter-like weather continues.
I know, they'll be looking for some place to stay warm. Yeah. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank here now with the first check of the forecast. We've got more cold and maybe even some snowflakes.
Yeah,
Rach.
I want to go back into hibernation. So we're kind of looking at this forecast here. Right now, we're looking at temperatures in the 40s across the state. The good news is we had all that sun out today, and it's a lot less windy than it was yesterday. So we'll take our winds as we can get them. 44 degrees right now in Waterbury, and we're also looking at temps in the mid-40s for Norwich and Windham. Radar showing a weak disturbance approaching. This will bring us that chance for a scattered rain and, yes, even snow showers in parts of the state tomorrow night into Friday morning. Low temperatures tonight. It's cold out there again. 20s to right around 30 degrees as we head towards daybreak. So whatever you did to stay warm this morning, whether that was reaching for a heavier coat or something else, that is what we should probably do again tomorrow. Low to mid 30s for the beaches. And then heading through the afternoon, we'll see numbers rebounding up near 50. Closer to average than we have been for the last few days. We're going to start the day off with full sunshine, but heading into the afternoon, we will see increasing amounts of clouds. And then after 6, 7, 8 o'clock, we'll bring in some of those scattered showers. Temperatures will be above freezing, so we aren't expecting any accumulation tomorrow night, even if there are a few snowflakes that mix in. And we'll see some of those stick around into Friday morning and maybe even coating things up in the hills for Friday to start. We'll talk about it, your full forecast, and a chilly, wet start to the weekend coming up in just a bit.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, the Hartford Fire Department has identified the person who died in an apartment fire on Monday. Officials say 65-year-old Jose Maldonado lived in the Juniper House Senior Living Building on Prospect Avenue. It caught fire around 9 p.m. on Monday. At least 26 people are now displaced, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation.
The U.S. Coast Guard says 3 people were rescued off of their broken down sailboat last night. The trio left Friday from New Haven and were headed for North Carolina. The search began when they failed to arrive to their destination. They were actually found about 50 miles south of Fire Island Beach. That's on the Long Island area in New York. Someone who was on the water spotted the boat, and thankfully no one was hurt.
More evidence was presented today during Jose Morales' murder trial. He's accused of killing his girlfriend, Christine Holloway, in 2019.
Their 14-month-old daughter, Vanessa Morales, has not been seen since. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson is at Milford Superior Court with what happened today.
Today, prosecutors showed images of the crime scene inside Christine Holloway's Asonia home. A detective also took the stand to share what investigators found inside Jose Morales' car. Images of kids' toys, the exterior of a house, and Christine Holloway's snow-covered black Ford Focus. Those are just some of the crime scene images reviewed in court Wednesday. Prosecutors also showed pictures of Morales' Nissan Sentra, which was seized after police arrested him. Inside the car, Detective Kevin Duggan said police found a black trash bag with what looked to be blood. Another picture showed an article of clothing that appeared to be a green t-shirt. Duggan says he remembers the size to be a 3 extra large.
This appeared to be the corresponding label for the Ansonia Police Department with regard to, again, the green Hanes t-shirt XXL with a blood-like substance.
Yes.
The second person to take the stand was Jennifer Nelson. She's the forensic science examiner for the state's Division of Scientific Services. Nelson was a part of the team that analyzed the evidence for positive blood matches.
I did perform the presumptive blood test on both of those stains, and both yielded positive results.
Morales' attorney brought up the potential for cross-contamination.
Would every one of those books that we saw, would they have been packaged individually, or would it have been in a collective evidence submission?
In this particular case, they were all commingling within the package that was received. But there could be cross transfer, rubbing off of one item to another with the blood or blood-like substance, yes.
Morales' attorney also asked Trooper Duggan that exact same question about cross-contamination. Trooper Duggan responded saying that some of the evidence they did collect was packaged all together. This trial is expected to last several weeks. In Milford, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
Jamel, thank you. A Vernon man pleaded guilty today in Hartford federal court for possessing child sex abuse materials. Officials say 44-year-old Daryl Todd used Snapchat to communicate with girls to get them to send him sexually explicit videos and pictures, and then sometimes pay them. Police also say he sent photos of himself to the girls. Todd was arrested in March of last year after authorities found the photos. He's out on bond and scheduled to be sentenced July 1st.
New tonight, the Connecticut Supreme Court has rejected a request from Alex Jones to appeal his $1.4 billion defamation verdict. Justices did not give a reason for the decision. The InfoWars host was ordered to pay damages to Sandy Hook families for claiming the 2012 school shooting was a hoax. The state's highest court declined to hear the case, clearing the way for collections to move forward. Jones filed for personal bankruptcy in late 2022. He could still appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Well, this week is the Week of the Young Child, a national effort to focus on early learning. So lawmakers and early child care advocates showed support today for bills that would improve child care. At the Connecticut State Capitol, leaders talked about how the bills could positively impact parents and educators despite the current federal challenges. We heard from a parent ambassador from the Connecticut Early Childhood Alliance who read an impact statement on behalf of a Manchester public school teacher and a soon-to-be first-time mom. Take a listen.
Being a stay-at-home mom isn't something I can actually afford to do either. I have student loans that take up nearly half of every paycheck. That debt doesn't just pause just because I'm starting a family. It's why I'm also weighing the idea of leaving my career during the day and finding part-time work in the evenings. Not to help cover childcare, but just to keep up with my student loan payments, cost of living, and keeping food on the table.
Now, right now, the governor, the House of Representatives, and the Senate are working on their own early child care bills. Lawmakers believe the bills will help lower child care costs, increase and health insurance for educators, plus build more facilities. Lawmakers will start negotiations soon. We'll know more once the session is done in June.
Connecticut drivers say Ava's budget group has been denying them from renting a car in Florida. Now the Connecticut Attorney General is stepping in. William Tong sent a letter to Avis today asking for more information on this. According to the company's website, it says they will refuse to rent vehicles to Connecticut drivers in Florida if they have a certain driver's license, specifically if it has, quote, not for federal identification imprinted on the license. Avis claims they're not valid for identification purposes. The Attorney General says this information is only listed in the frequently asked questions page and not when people make and pay a reservation. Fox 61 reached out to Avis and we're still waiting to hear back.
All right, starting in about 20 minutes here, drivers will not be allowed to drive on a part of I-84. The Connecticut Department of Transportation says it will be installing a wrong-way driver detection system on the eastbound and westbound I-84 exit 39 in Farmington. Crews will be working on this from 6:30 until 2:30 in the morning. Officials ask you to find other routes.